Today, we're taking a look at Jeffrey Dahmer's final night of freedom, how his final victim managed to fight his way out of the apartment, and the grim discoveries made by the police that evening. As always, this video contains graphic details, so if you're of a sensitive nature, please think twice before listening any further. Okay? Let's go. It's just gone 6 PM on July 22nd, 1991. Three friends are drinking outside a bar in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, when they are approached by a man with a proposition. He tells them if they come back to his apartment and allow him to take nude photos, he'll pay them $100 each. Two of the friends turn him down, but 32-year-old Tracy Edwards accepts the offer. What Tracy doesn't realise is that this man is not the professional photographer he claims to be. He is Jeffrey Dahmer, a man who has already taken the lives of 17 boys and men, and who will soon become infamously known as the Milwaukee Cannibal. Together, Dahmer and Tracy leave in a taxi and head to the apartment. Tracy's friends agree to meet them both later and ask Jeffrey for his address. He gives them a fake one. Separated from his friends, Tracy and Dahmer are soon outside the apartment building. But instead of entering through the main entrance, Jeffrey leads Tracy through a series of hidden alleyways behind the building. When questioned, he tells a concerned Tracy that this is a safer way to get inside. They enter Dahmer's apartment. First impressions are that everything seems normal, apart from an odd smell. But other than that, it looks like an ordinary home. But Tracy soon notices something else that is strange. Walking to the living room, he spots boxes of hydrochloric acid on the floor. Dahmer tells him that he uses this to clean bricks. Tracy believes him. Sitting together in the living room, they drink more alcohol. But the foul smell filling the apartment is starting to overwhelm Tracy, so much so that he's beginning to get agitated. Sensing his unease, Dahmer draws Tracy's attention to a nearby fish tank. Tracy turns his attention away from Jeffrey. This is a huge mistake. Suddenly, Tracy feels a cold metal snap on his left wrist. It's a handcuff. But he also finds a knife being held against his ribs. Tracy notices that Jeffrey's whole demeanour has changed. The talkative, friendly guy he'd met earlier in the evening is gone, replaced by somebody who's angry and threatening. Dahmer leads them both to the kitchen so he can grab another beer. He opens the refrigerator door, and this is when Tracy realises just how depraved this man truly is. Inside the fridge is full of parts. Jeffrey turns to Tracy and tells him how beautiful his eyes and skull are. Tracy tries to take some control over the situation. Keeping his voice calm, he engages Dahmer in conversation in an attempt to diffuse the tension. This seems to work, and a slightly calmed down Jeffrey tells Tracy that he will let him go. But first, they need to make their way to Jeffrey's bedroom so that he can find the handcuff key. They enter the bedroom and Tracy is told to sit on the bed. He notices a dark stain on the sheets, but he doesn't know what this stain is. Dahmer then begins to show Tracy some Polaroid photos of his previous victims. all the while recounting the gruesome details about the various things he'd eaten. Still held at knife point, Dahmer insists that he and Tracy watch TV together. The movie playing on the VCR is Exorcist 3. Throughout, Jeffrey displays violent mood swings, veering from the initial nice guy that Tracy first met to someone threatening and aggressive. Alarmingly, during the movie's possession scenes, he starts to rock back and forth and chant to himself. Jeffrey tells Tracy to lie on the bed and rests his head against his chest. Listening to his heartbeat, he declares, "I'm going to have to eat it." A few hours pass and Dahmer is still holding Tracy captive on the bed. By this time, Tracy has had time to devise an escape plan, and now is the time to put it into action. He asks to use the bathroom and Dahmer accompanies him. On their way back to the bedroom, Tracy suggests that they both sit on the living room sofa as the air conditioner is nearby. Jeffrey agrees. A few minutes later, Tracy stands up again and tells Dahmer that he is going to use the bathroom again. The knife is no longer pressed against Tracy. It's now his chance to try and escape. Tracy stands up. With Dahmer still sitting on the sofa, he punches him and then delivers a kick to his head. Tracy makes a run for the front door. But there's another problem. There are 8 different locks on it, and Tracy doesn't know which one will open the door. Dahmer has now recovered from the blows and is behind Tracy, trying to attack him with the weapon, but he keeps missing. Tracy strikes Jeffrey another couple of times, and this is enough to slow him down. With no time to spare, Tracy chooses a random lock, and it's the right one. The door swings open. Jeffrey makes one last attempt to pull Tracy back inside, but he's too late. Tracy has managed to escape from the apartment and runs into the street. On the street, Tracy manages to flag down 2 officers from the Milwaukee Police Department, telling them that a freak has just tried to kill him. He requests for the cuff to be removed, but the set of keys the police hold do not fit that brand. There's only one thing they can do. They need to go back to Dahmer's apartment and get the correct key. The 3 of them make their way back into the building. The officers have absolutely no idea about the horrors they are about to uncover. The officers knock the door and Dahmer opens it, inviting them and Tracy inside. Immediately upon entering, the officers are hit by the foul smell emanating from within. Surprisingly, Jeffrey readily admits to placing the handcuffs on Tracy. But when Tracy tells them that Dahmer has threatened him with a knife, Dahmer remains silent. Jeffrey indicates to the officers that the handcuff key is in the bedroom. An officer enters the room and sees the knife lying on the bed. But then something else catches his attention. The Polaroid photos that Dahmer had been showing Edwards earlier lie scattered in an open drawer. The officer takes a closer look, and the horrifying contents of the images become clearer. Walking back into the living room, he simply says to his partner, "These are for real." Realising the police now have evidence of his crimes, Jeffrey fights with the officers, attempting to resist arrest. But he is quickly subdued and handcuffed. The officers call for backup. While waiting, the officer who uncovered the Polaroids makes his way to the refrigerator to check its contents. That's when he makes his next gruesome discovery: the numerous parts that fill the fridge. Dahmer turns to the officers and says, "For what I did, I should be dead." Further searches by the officers and subsequent searches by investigators uncover dozens of remains in the fridge, freezer, and throughout the apartment. Dahmer immediately confessed his 17 murders to the authorities, detailing his depraved motivations and actions in the process. As Wisconsin had abolished the death penalty, execution was not an option. Instead, Dahmer was sentenced to multiple life terms in prison. He would eventually be attacked and killed by another inmate, Christopher Scarver, in 1994. By all accounts, Tracy Edwards seems never to have managed to return to a normal life after the events of July 22nd, 1991. He endured a period of homelessness and had numerous scrapes with the law, including a serious incident involving a minor. He served time in prison, and as of today, his current whereabouts are unknown. So that was the story surrounding the events of Jeffrey Dahmer's final victim and Dahmer's long overdue arrest. If you found the video interesting, I'd be grateful if you could like it, as it will help YouTube serve it to more people. Do you have any thoughts on the video? If so, it would be great if you could share them in the comments. And if you are interested in true crime content, then please subscribe, as I'll be posting more videos like this in the future. Until then.